We got it next. That's how you finesse. We cover they next.
Hey, welcome to the Sales Point. Today we have another episode from the pool.
Yeah, the podcasters. The room is not ready yet.
Yeah, the podcast room is not ready
It's
yet.
coming.
And we are talking today about networking. But before that, just as a reminder to my mom, my dad, my sister, the only two
The Grey
people
Gold.
yeah, my mother-in-law, those the only people that watch our videos. You can watch this live
Producer.
on Twitch
So she says.
because we're live on Twitch. In the comebacks, that's Dennis's channel, and instead of waiting 2-3 weeks till this is live, live now, uploaded to YouTube. So yeah,
I think you can watch without an account, right? You don't have to sign up.
Yeah,
you just
you
get
can-
advertisement.
yeah, you will eat a lot of advertising.
Yeah.
Mm.
And those are not imposed by us.
Yeah.
We don't make nada.
So yeah, let's start with today's subject, that is networking. Networking is a way. It's a way to meet people that are in the same industry as you, or in similar industries. Even on different industries, but
Yeah,
you can,
but it would make less sense. But it depends also. You can network personally.
yeah, precisely.
But we're focused more on the B2B.
Yeah, for
To
example,
focus on B2B, like we're networking with Lucas.
Lucas,
He's
that
in
is-
real estate.
Lucas,
but
that
there's
is gonna
some-
be in the next
There's some
episode.
collabs there we can happen, and
Yeah.
we have Renato.
He's a football player.
Football player, yeah, has nothing with our industry to do, but there's still something we can,
Yeah,
do together. But I would say for the most part, networking is you go to an event, let's say adult, which we always bring up. We love adult. You you can focus on the B2C and meaning the content creators, but there isn't much we can do with them. But we can still learn, so you can still network with them. But I would say for the most part, you're networking with like acquirers or solution providers or solutions themselves and so on and so on.
yeah.
So what would you say that is the one of the key pillars for networking?
Well, you cannot be Estonian
That's true.
because
true.
you cannot
Swedish.
be, or Swedish. You cannot be shy. You need to be very open, very friendly, and sometimes very loud. You gotta call attention of,
Oh yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
people.
Like us, we're good at that.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you are good calling too much attention, attracting the wrong kind of attention.
Yeah.
Like the security guys from the airport, or the security guys from the web summit, or the security guys from the ferry, or the security guys from the nightclub, or the security guys from everywhere. But yeah, you need to be
What was the
like,
problem with Web Summit again? What was it they were passed?
you
Because I
had-
had my card on the back.
yes.
Yeah. That's true.
So you need to be very, not very, but a little bit extrovert. And
I would say that you have to be a lot of extrovert, at least for the moment being.
yes.
You cannot be like, I only want to talk to you for 5 minutes, because that's not really networking. You're not going to learn much in 5 minutes because you're two people who has to talk. Maybe more.
I've been told several times that I am a know-all,
Oh, you are.
and the reason I
And it's random bullshit.
yeah, precisely. The reason I became like that is because I was such an ignorant person when I was like 18, 17. I finished my high school when I was 15, and I went to college immediately. Actually, I became an engineer at 20 years old. 5 years career is not normal, but the problem is that I was a kid of 15 years old in college, the university. Everybody was 18, 19, 20, something. They were drinking, they were partying, they were doing a lot of shits that I wasn't into, those things, and they were socializing a
So
lot.
you were kind of like a light Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, well, he was like 12, not 15, but yes. So
He's also a know-it-all.
yeah.
Kind of pain in the ass.
But the thing is that I got invited once to a gathering with people. They were having some beers. playing cards and shit, poker and bullshit. And I remember they were talking about a few random subjects, like I don't know, uh, this shit, cultural random facts of the war, of the people and shit, and I knew anything about it. And I made a comment, and some people laugh at me.
You look like an idiot.
Yeah, because I was flirting with this girl that she was older than me. She
Oh,
was
nice.
19.
I remember that. Good
and,
times.
and oh my god, I'm such an ignorant. Then I said no, this cannot be possible. Then I start reading.
You know you don't have to talk
Reading.
unless you actually have something to say, right?
Yeah,
Unless you know something, you don't have to read up to be clever. But it's funny because I saw that, I think that's important though. If you're going to be part of a circle,
precisely.
let's say
That's
you
where
know
I'm
what they're
going.
talking about,
That's
then
where
you
I'm going.
you have to read up on something at least.
That's where I'm going.
You
I
can offer
start-
an opinion, but don't be an expert unless you know.
Yeah, I start reading about everything: history, geography, mechanics, physics, math. I am a software engineer, but I start reading about construction engineering. I start reading about robotics, and I became a robotics engineer. Well, I have a master degree in robotics. So the thing is that I learned all those things because I
You wanted to fit in.
I wanted. No, it's not about
But
fitting
you do. It's part of fitting in to know something to be part of the conversation.
in. More or less.
Because if you fit in by giving all this random shit
They
that
don't want
doesn't
to
make
get
sense.
humiliated never again.
Yeah, but that is part of fitting
Humiliation
in.
is the
Of course,
worst.
it sucks. I think sometimes it's necessary
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people like massive egos. Sometimes just taking down a pick, like a
Oh.
potato girl in the kitchen.
I'm gonna tell you something about that later. Um, I used to practice martial arts since I don't know, since I was 9, 10 years old, and I has always been very overconfident. When a situation that requires those skills uh, shows up. Dude, I was in a nightclub once, and somebody threw a bottle of me on me, and then everybody told me, "Don't worry, nothing happened." But
Your ego
felt
was hurt.
My ego was hurt, so I went for the guy. The guy didn't beat the shit out of me. He was a professional wrestler.
Wrestler, yeah.
Yeah, but those
Yeah, the ones on the floor, the
yeah,
mats
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah. So
Like
the,
jiu-jitsu kind of thing. Yeah, not the
Yes.
same, but I know what you
the
mean.
guy didn't hurt me. He didn't hit me. I hit him. I broke his nose, but he basically immobilized me. I was incapable of getting rid of him. He didn't punch me, not even once. I felt like shit.
You were humiliated.
Yeah, because the guy.
You were like, I got this.
I got this. Yeah, and after that, that was the shot I need
Yeah,
to lower my
Yeah.
ego regarding those
I
things.
can't kill everybody.
Yeah, so
I'm not RoboCop or something.
yeah,
Terminator
so
shit.
I stopped fighting forever and ever after that. I don't want to. I don't want.
I don't
that
think
to
it's.
happen ever
I
again.
think you can professionally fight, and then it's a different situation, of course. But I don't know, man. I don't know when I was younger. It was my lust was blood.
Yeah.
I wanted to fight. I fought guards
Sometimes you
and
still
people.
want when you drink.
Yeah, but it's less aggressive now
Yeah.
than it used to be. At least I don't understand why, but I always had this lust for. It's not even revenge. It's just fuck you. I don't know. It's just something. So that I'm happy it's more or less gone. I still have it because, like you, I'm like when my ego is hurt,
Yep.
then you go somewhere. But to get back on, topic.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I was saying this. You gotta learn a little bit about everything, so you can be extrovert. You
Yes,
can mellow
but don't propose yourself as an expert of
Yes.
everything because nobody is.
what is. But
You
but
can have facts, random facts. Everybody
Yeah.
should have that.
and you can meddle in conversations and things and participate.
Hey, I heard you were talking about. I know a little thing about that.
Yeah, like when I was talking with the Shopify guys about the integration with Shopify payments, and it results that the Shopify employees doesn't know shit about their own integration.
I don't think that's
Oh, we have a
uncommon.
technical department for that. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Going to a supermarket, they don't know what the meats is. I think it's over there. And then you go over there. No, that's green. That's vegetables and stuff like that. And I think that, yeah, that's sad. But I have another question for you. What are some of the red flags for a person who wants to network? What do they need to consider? What are red
Oh.
flags in a conversation when somebody comes in and went, hey?
You gotta listen to me. Do as I said.
Oh, yeah.
I know what I'm
hate,
telling
I hate
you.
people like that.
I know what I'm telling you.
Oh,
Do
I
as
hate
I
people like
said.
that.
Those are professional salespeople.
Yeah.
That you gotta listen to me and do as I said is
And you
a
will be a
very
millionaire.
powerful
Yeah,
line in sales.
Yeah, but everybody
Well,
does it
probably-
online these days with do as I say, follow my thing, you're going to
Yes.
be millionaire.
Yeah, you are
Fuck
probably
off.
falling into
Yeah, it's a trap.
yeah, into
And
trap.
they're getting millionaires.
and they will get money, not you.
Yeah, like Forex trading, Shopify, drop shipping, all this bullshit.
Yes.
No, but for me, a red flag is no, like, if you don't know when to shut the fuck up. Like, or, like, I'm good at that. I like to sometimes when I have something to say, I want to say it now because I know I'm going to forget it. So I jump in and say it, and I might break up a conversation, like the flow of a conversation. That's also a red flag that I know I have. But it's just, I feel like if I don't tell it, and I know it from experience, I will forget it, and then my point will be mute, and I can't really say anything.
Another red flag for me, it's not a red flag always for some people, but for me is that people is so stiff. They have a broomstick on up their asses.
I can't do that. I don't care where it is.
100%
I can't
corporate
do that.
always. No jokes, no fun, no.
Well, look, I'm loose, man.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
loose. I
But
can't deal with
it
that.
gotta be. You are too loose sometimes. It gotta be sort of a
Especially
balance.
after a beer.
Sort of a balance in that. But for example, we do business with Thomas and Vitor. Thomas and Vitor, they are very professionals.
Thomas is getting more loose. Vitor still has a little stick.
No, but even
But
like that,
he jokes in his own way.
he jokes.
He
in
has his own
and,
little...
and we make the jokes and he laugh and okay, he don't participate that much, but he understands it's a joke. But for
the
example-
people that don't. Ooh.
But for example, the same joke, but with the people from the same company, but in the United States.
No, that doesn't
They didn't like
translate.
it. They
It doesn't
didn't like
translate.
it at all.
Or try a joke with the e-com processing team. Doesn't
didn't like
doesn't
it.
no, they don't like the jokes either.
No.
Because they don't, I guess they've never seen us. They never met us formally. We never had a real conversation. So we have had those monthly meetings and stuff. But I get it. But sometimes people just need to lighten up. A
On
joke is a joke.
ACI.
Even if it's a shitty joke, just say, okay, not my joke. Let's move on. If the person doesn't stop, it's part of my red flag. Like, know your limits. Like, sometimes
You
stay in your
remember
box.
Stefan on ACI? Stefan,
Oh, no jokes.
no,
No.
but even when I made a joke, he understood it was a joke, and sometimes, Jerry, you're so funny. But the other people from ACI,
Do
they
you remember?
were
I remember that girl. There was literally nada.
nada.
She was stiff.
Yeah, and that's a red flag because
For
You are-
for us, yes.
yeah, for me or for us, yeah, because you are doing business with someone that is not taking into consideration the humanity of the industry, the humanity of everything. It's like doing business with those lawyers that they are vampires. They just want to jump on you and suck
But it-
your blood. you
It's
know?
the same thing as going to ICE or going to AVN.
Yeah.
Because the AVN people, since it's adult, they've been scrutinized. They're still being scrutinized. They can understand a joke. Like the girl I had, the dominatrix that signed my ass. Like, that was never going to happen at ICE or Web Summit or something like that. But she signed my ass. I got her Instagram and we chatted for a while. And it was fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta when you do networking, also
I would say know your audience,
yes,
know yourself.
there is one thing that I am. It's kind of contradictory because it can be cultural. When something looks too good to be true, it probably is. You will get fucked up. It probably is a fake
Yeah,
thing.
but that's the same thing, I guess, with Pulse when we're offering people to
Yes.
do these things for them. They think, why? And I say, yeah, but we just want a testimonial. And they're like, what?
But for example, in certain countries in Latin America, here in Cyprus, it happens a lot. In the Canary Islands, not in the entire Spain, maybe in the south a little bit. People is very, very friendly, and they are very interested on having a friendship with you, hanging out with you. They are like, hey, no, I take you this place, or I help you with that. You gotta understand that in most cases, it's a cultural fact. It's not the that they are like that because they like you. It might be, but it's cultural. So you gotta understand the cultures too. That's where the knowledge about everything. There is a book that I recommended to you that you never fucking read it, asshole.
I have it somewhere.
Yeah. How to make friends
Sounds
and
like a fucking
influence on
cult.
people. No, it's a very old book, but it's amazing. You read that book. Fucking Lilia read that book a few times.
Precisely what
She
I
never
mean.
shut the fuck
Cult
up.
people.
Um, that book is amazing. I love it.
But now that you spoke about Spanish people, I remember the situation with my former business partner when we lived in Benamana. We went to, what's the actor? Shit, who was famous with Soro. What's his name again?
Banderas, Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, he had
lives
that
in
restaurant.
Malaga.
Yeah, but he had that restaurant in Benamana. We
Mhm.
went there. My buddy was getting drunk. He went up to like three Spanish guys. They gave him the cold shoulder, and that is one of the most gayest thing I've ever seen in my life. You're not even acknowledging him. You're just ignoring him. That is so gay. Just say, "Hey, I'm not interested," or
But I understand sometimes people that live that are actual residents.
we live there.
No, but yeah, but people that are actual residents on those places, they are tired of drunk foreigners.
He wasn't wasted. He was
Uh,
tipsy, and he was just trying to make friends because we're new there. We wanted to, fit in and
Yep.
connect. And then
know
they
your
just gave him the
audience.
yeah, precisely. He didn't know that, and that's why after that I never really. I don't think in the 2 years that I lived in Spain, I managed to get anybody who was Spanish to befriend.
Again, Web Summit. You remember that we went to the Warline booth and they basically, I don't know, those guys were from where? Sweden, Belgium, I don't know.
I don't remember.
But
Belgium probably.
yeah, but they treat us, oh, well, guys, we will call you. Very political. But then we will call you when we have that service available, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I
But
don't
then
know.
we went to the Portuguese guy
Oh, he was amazing.
and he was amazing. Yeah.
But then
oh, of course, my friend, take
But
my
what
phone number.
what
call
happened
you.
after?
He never fucking picked it up. But that's the thing. It's cultural.
But he wanted us to reach out. We reached out and
Yeah.
never got. That's also the thing is, not every friend, network, partner, whatever will convert to something you can keep.
The Filipino guy from Vegas, he was amazing.
Yeah, but they also stopped answering for quite a while, and then I stopped answering, and then they stopped answering again, and then I just left the group.
Yeah.
That
So yeah, networking. Oh my God, you gotta.
sometimes you should just enjoy the moment, be in the moment, because once the moment is over, that is over.
Yeah.
But network is an integral part of being in business. It's mandatory. If you don't
Also-
know how to network, your business is probably not going as big as it should be.
Also, we have partners in some countries, and we always do our best to go there and meet them in person. Especially me, I am interested on they knowing who they are dealing with.
That's
They
why
don't-
we always do webcam when we have our meetings. Is
Yes.
We show people precisely who we are. We're not hiding anything.
Yeah, And for example, we have a partner in Poland. I wanted to meet him a few times, but
I don't think it's a good idea because his English is not that good.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
that you need a
that's his
translator.
problem.
Yeah, you could bring Lily. She says she speaks Polish.
I don't want to bring Lily to Poland. Fucking kidding me.
But
I
yeah,
rather using Google Translate.
I have had a lot of these people throughout the years that I would love to meet. Like now I have this Mark guy, amazing dude. I would love to meet him. I met Johnny, and that was fun. But yeah, that was that. So sometimes even meeting is not everything, but I think it's just important for a business to meet who you're talking to. If they're important for your business and for you as an entrepreneur, I think you should meet people personally. If you have the money and the capacity to do it, go for it. Meet people on level, like I would say outside of conference means that you're starting on like level one. Then you can see if you can actually have a real conversation moving forward as well, because networking is mandatory.
Yes, it is.
If you don't network, you're not in business, I would say. It's going to be very hard to stay in business. Okay, you can do, marketing and still make money without networking, but you still need a payment process or a gateway, or you need suppliers. So you still need to network no matter what you do. There's no way you get around not having somebody to help you with something.
So tell me, how do network benefits me as a business owner, as an entrepreneur?
I would say it can be one of many things. One is you can gain knowledge for somebody who's more experienced. And not everybody sees competition as a bad thing. For us, we have many competitors. I'm not going to give them my deepest secrets, but I don't mind having a conversation. They give some, we give some. Then you learn some. You're like, huh, never thought about that. Or, huh, didn't know you could do it this way. Then, of course, it can be a way of growing your business.
Yep.
You'll be networking could be that you get a new provider for SEO or marketing, or it could be a supplier, or it could be a friend of the networker. So you get it's kind of like when you throw a rock in the water, you see these rings.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So there's many different benefits to networking, and I think it's also just getting out there, seeing other people. It's important for every human being. You can't hide in a dark cave, and that's how you live your life.
Yeah.
I think it's just good for your. You need to be social. That's that's a very human thing to be social. So maybe you let loose. Yeah, you might make some mistakes that other people will laugh at, but you had an experience. So I think those things are important to network. Why you should network.
Okay. I don't know. I have always been good at networking, but for example, in the affiliate summit in New York,
Oh, I had fun. That was nice.
I didn't. Yeah, but
But Web Summit was shit for me. I didn't talk to anybody. I don't know.
I tried.
I felt
You
off-putting.
know, I tried.
I felt like this makes no sense. I think I think we all know that once I make up my mind, it's not going further. So, once I really realized that this was not for us, it was dead. I also have some limitations when I'm sober. It is what it is. I'm more chatty when I have my first beer.
But for example, in affiliate summit, I wanted to. I was interested only in one thing, and you were not interested in that thing precisely, and it was trying to get us a partnership with an American acquire or PayFac, and I had a couple of conversations with a couple of them, but I'm I don't know, dude. Conversations went wonderful, but at the end we didn't achieve anything with them.
I would say that what is important for me to go to a conference is usually to have these apps so you can handpick who you want to talk to. Usually you're going to get spammed, but you yourself can handpick and say, these ones make sense for me to meet. That creates an easy flow. Okay, now I have these. And then when you get there, you see, okay, these guys are here. Let me go chat to these guys. Let's go there and let's do that. If you're just walking the floor, for me, it's more meh. Because are you just going to tick, tick, tick? Hey. Nope. Peace. Like it becomes a little more complicated to figure out who do I need to talk to. If they don't have a booth, it's harder. That's why the parties are important. Parties and events, like
Yeah.
the wine thing that we're sending two girls to in Icon, the red carpet.
They will find a sugar daddy there and no partners.
most likely. But
Yeah.
then there's the other events and stuff like that. That's important. That's where we connect. Me and Annabelle went to the Expits Awards show. We met a bunch of amazing people. It was nice. It involved alcohol, of course, but it would have been so much nicer if the avian conference wasn't right after, because everybody left directly after the award show, so there was no after party, no nothing. Me and Annabelle was walking around with thumbs up, being like, "What do you want to do?" And LA was dead
Yeah.
because you can't drink alcohol after 2 a.m. I think it is.
Yeah, LA is complicated. Well,
So
United States. Is
we
complicated
went-
in general.
There was a shisha place, but it was open till 5. We were like, no, because no alcohol. Then we went to the 7-Eleven. I was like, I don't want to go home and drink. I'm in a mood to socialize. So we just went home and sleep. But like those kind of events are really, really nice. That's why after, if we knew the AVN party was only for 2 hours or 4 hours or whatever it was, I would have
4
created an after party.
Yes.
Because I am 100% sure everybody wanted to do more.
Yes.
But we went home again. Such a sad ending to such an important event that was so expensive for us. So that's sometimes also the downside, right? Not knowing certain things about the events is that you can end up feeling
Everything
in
is a
some mood
learning curve.
and you don't have nowhere to put it.
Everything is a learning curve.
Yes, that's the first thing that
Some
people should-
lessons are more expensive than others.
of course. Like nobody's perfect, and you have to learn. Like if everybody walks around with that mentality that I know everything, yeah, no, you're gonna get slapped around and like. Did you see that? No, you didn't see the video. There was this video my son showed me with this little kid going down this slide, and he the head went like tick 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 tick.
Oh
tick,
yeah, I saw that video.
tick. That's basically it. That's how you learn. You go, you tick 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 tick, and then you go straight at one point. But
Yeah.
at one point, you're gonna hit it again. You need to be patient, and you need to be willing to accept your flaws, because you're gonna make mistakes, and you gotta learn from them. You don't have to change yourself, but you have to learn from them. That's also the thing. When you go to conferences, you can be fake. Because my personality is, for a lot of people, maybe too flamboyant. So not everybody appreciates it. So if I wanted to, which I don't, I could tone it down and it would be easier for me. But I don't give a shit. For me, I go there as me and I'm going to be completely transparent. People who want to talk to me, I'm happy to talk to you. People who don't can go fuck themselves.
You know, I am not PC at all.
I'm nowhere PC.
But I try to be PC when I don't know the people, because I don't want to ruin a.
I get it. But if people ask me a question, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
So I just always, I don't have to answer. I don't always answer. I can, divert it and shit if I don't want to, if I don't think it's, making sense. But if people force me to, not force me, if people really want an answer from me in certain things, I will give my answer. And I think that I really don't get the whole PC bullshit. I think it's complete and utter horseshit. And I don't think people should apply that to anywhere. Doesn't mean you can say whatever you want to. Because there's consequences.
Meet a Karen, and that Karen.
I know. But there's
has
consequences.
a $3 million business that needs processing. Oh my God, I just
know.
don't want to go
I know.
full crazy since
I'm
the
just saying
start.
that you don't have to. If you want to, you do it. But I would say that PC is something that the devil created to control people, but people can't be controlled.
Religion. People can be controlled.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But those are, in my opinion, weak-minded people.
Mm.
If you let yourself, you can be manipulated by family, then it doesn't make you weak-minded. That's a
Mm.
different thing. Because then you're getting manipulated by people you trust and love. That's a different thing. If you get manipulated by somebody you don't know,
You know
you're
that
weak.
those cults, they have been perfecting their technique over the millennials. So it's not like, hey, come here, I'm gonna brainwash you in 2 days. It's something very.
I know
And then you're fucked.
you sow a seed
Yes.
and then you watch it grow. I know.
Yes.
but that still is weak that you don't see it coming or you don't ask questions. There's a lot of people afterwards that's like, I should ask questions. Yeah, yes, you should have. Like, that's the thing. You have to be aware. Like, you have to be aware. And if you like it, then don't complain afterwards. Don't be like, oh, I should have known. I should have done this. Yeah. Probably. You shouldn't have stabbed that person. Yeah, thank you. The guy is dead, you know. So I would say that's the same thing with networking. Once you said something, you can't take it back.
No, they're fucked.
Yes. I would say it's the same thing as every time you see people, you know, these fail army. When you see people sliding on the ice, just go all in.
Yeah.
Just be like afterwards, ta-da. You could do that, but people are going to laugh anyways because you look like an idiot. And you're just trying to maybe, I don't know, take some of the humiliation away, but it's not disappearing. And I think, you know, just fucking fall into it. It's so much easier. Just acknowledge your error. If you feel like you did wrong, apologize. If you don't feel like you're wrong, then in your way, you weren't. Like I said, we're not PC. We're not gonna go that way where we always say something to apply to people's emotions. No, I don't like that. I want to be honest with people because that's the only way they're going to be honest with you, hopefully.
Well,
I think
I think
we covered it.
We cover very, very.
And then some.
Yeah, networking. There is not too much we can talk about.
No, and we gave some experience. I think that.
Yeah.
What's the conclusion you think for today? Just be yourself. That's mine.
Be yourself. Yes.
But know your audience.
Know your audience and educate yourself.
Yes. Have some knowledge to share.
Doing networking.
It's gonna make you feel amazing.
Doing networking can get you your best customers,
Yes.
your best suppliers. It's very
Maybe
important.
Even, like friends. You
yeah.
can get friends.
Yes.
Well, you and me
Yep.
started online, so
Thomas.
I like Thomas.
Yeah.
I like Vitor.
Beater is amazing.
But that's also the thing. If we lived in Amsterdam, we would see them more often. Of course, we would.
Yeah, of course.
And
What I don't like is that Thomas' wife doesn't let him play Fortnite. Yeah.
but yeah, I think just be yourself.
If my wife tells me, "Oh, you cannot play Fortnite," fuck off.
I told her the same. If she ever tells me anything like that, I'm gonna do it. When people tell me something like that, I'm gonna go further.
Yeah.
But
The only one that commands over me is me.
yes, agreed. But the conclusion for me is be yourself, know your audience, educate yourself, like you said. I think that's very important that people think, okay, I'm going to an adult. You don't have to read up an adult, but you can have some fun facts or some knowledge about, you know, certain things, what's going on, like Vamp or, you know, these additions to the terms and conditions needed done. So yeah, bring some of the good stuff.
Yeah, for those that are in Twitch, we're gonna continue with the other podcast, the juicy thing that you liked when we start talking about
Guilty pleasures.
yeah, crazy shits.
Minecraft movie.
And for those that are watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share because sharing
Is caring.
precisely.
And we care.
Leave your comments. Oh my God, the cat. Oh.
If you have comments,
If you have comments, leave them in the comments box because we want to know your experiences and your questions. Maybe we can help you. Maybe you guys can
Help us.
advise us something.
We're not perfect.
Of course, we are not. We're far from it. So thank you for watching.
See you soon.
Holy fuck.
We got it next. That's how you finesse.